Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Sharice and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy.
All right. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Okay, almost there. And yeah, last week when I couldn't get it to go live, it was my fault. I had copied and pasted something wrong.
Oh, okay.
Right. And was feeling so indignant that the system had let me down.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Not the case at all, which is why they always say, stay humble. Just stay humble. Okay.
It's crazy. Gotcha.
Okay. And we should be live, wonderful people. And we're so happy to be here with you guys. This is the Together podcast. I am Natalie Elliott, and this is the fabulous Sharice B.
Happy Tuesday, beautiful
right.
people.
So, as y'all can see, she's outside with a beautiful backdrop. I don't know where you are, but oh my God, it's so gorgeous. So gorgeous.
Right here in Georgia. In Georgia.
What's the temperature like outside? Is it nice and cool?
Oh, yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect to me.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess it's about 70 or so, but like the sun is shining. Like it's beautiful. Like not too hot yet,
Okay.
He's coming through, but I'm outside the city too this morning, so it's a whole different. Like it's trees and greenery. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. I know.
Different vibe.
So today we're talking about love and business, how to navigate relationships while building your empire. Y'all know this is my jam because this hits right up on maritalpreneurs. So, yes. Which I'm so excited about. I've been working on creating a workshop for it. I'm actually in a workshop to help me prepare for my workshop. Nice. So I'm really excited about this. This is like the perfect topic for me right now as I continue to dive deeper into what it takes to be in a relationship and run a business at the same time, because some of our businesses can be so overwhelming. And I'm going to say a big part of that, because I just was rewatching Dan Sullivan. Yep, Dan Sullivan, the strategic coach. Ooh, and so I love him. He's the guy who wrote what is the Gap, something about the Gap. Who Not How.
Yeah, and it's what's the other one about biz? Oh goodness,
I think 10x is better than 1x, or 10x is something. How to 10x your business, something like that. He's written a good amount of books, but I fell in love with Dan because one of my mentors was operating on Dan's system. So Dan's system is you need to have 3 money-making days. Mm-hmm. And 2 like paperwork strategic days, and 2 complete off days. And that business model was attractive to me. And my mentor was running that business model: 3 money making days, 2 business paperwork days, and then 2 complete off days where you're not thinking about the business at all. And so I was like, say what? Because my corporate America job, first of all, my blue collar parents are workers. Okay, we work. We work harder so that we can get the things that we want. And the mantra is, as long as you work hard, you can have whatever you want. But working hard is part of it.
Yes.
So I work. We work. That's what we do. So having Dan say only work 3 days a week, what you mean by that? Say, like, how is that possible? And how can you have everything you want if you only work 3 days a week? And so, which is part of his model of, okay, now let's look at who, not how, because you're going to be the bottleneck on how much you can grow, how much you can earn, what you can do, your impact, if you're not delegating. All right.
Yeah.
So
true. Being a business, hey, that's the one woman show, the CEO.
That's the one woman show. I was getting ready to give it to you.
A true CEO. That's real talk.
Yeah.
That's where we are. Like that's where we should be. That's good.
Yeah.
So can you say that one more time? The 3 days of work.
3 days of work. 3 days of 3 money making days.
3 money making days.
3 money making days where you're probably client facing, like doing the work that makes the money. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 days of like paperwork behind the scenes, going to the mailbox, getting things mailed off, sending out all the emails, like too many. And then 2 days where you're just off, like you just off and enjoy. And so I think really what I liked about that, because it was aligning with what I was already thinking. Okay. And what I was already thinking is, okay, I don't love Grant Cardone. He is not one of my people, but I do respect the hell out of the man. I do.
Yeah.
All right. Gary V, I absolutely do love.
Yeah.
But what I learned in listening to both of these men is it was very male oriented. Do.
Mm-hmm.
Like Grant is just like, oh, you ain't got the success you want, then do everything 10 times more.
Right.
So like if you're not seeing the emails you need to see, if you're not seeing the results from your emails that you need to see, send 10 times more. If you're not getting the numbers from the sales, do 10 times more. And so, and Gary Vee is also do it more. Like you post it, you need to be posting 20 times a day. 20 ain't like working, maybe you need to do 40 times a day. And so they're very much like work harder. Mm-hmm. I was noticing that wasn't working for a lot of females.
Yeah, no.
Because these two men, in particularly, I'm pretty sure, I know Gary Vee has like a wife and children. I'm not sure about Grant because I don't follow him like that.
Too.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. They have partners who can do all of that. A lot of the females in my life that I was actually seeing were navigating, taking care of their parents, taking care of maybe some other family members, taking care of kids, and taking care of their business. So tell them just to do 10 times more when the time wasn't there. It didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel like that was working. It felt like it was killing them instead. And so now I'm dealing and looking at women who are working or doing stuff 20 hours a day and only sleeping 4 hours. No wonder you burn out. Like we was crying 6 months ago and you was about to like, why are we still here again? And it's being on that rabbit trail trying to do more. So I was already thinking, this ain't working for women. We can't. And so I'm going to bring this back around to relationships. And so if you can't manage your business in these hours and you got all of these other things, whenever would you have time for love and a relationship? Mm-hmm. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. You don't. And so your partner's looking at you like, hey, I wanted to take you out tonight, or can we spend some time together tonight? And you're like, no, because I'm not going to be finished working until 10 or 11. Mm-hmm. I can't go out because I got to be back up at 4.
Yep.
And so all of that. So, okay. Yeah. So let me get y'all back to something that's reasonable that hopefully you can take. Mm-hmm. All right. First of all, I want you to think about putting your business into a container that will allow space in your life for love and a relationship. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Putting your business into a container that will allow for love and relationships. Yeah. Now, what that container might look like is different for you. And it's going to be different for each person. Some person, your container might need to be 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. You need to get everything into the 9 to 5 hours. Mm-hmm. For some people, that might need to be a retreat model. We got to go towards retreat model so I can spend client facing one time a month for a weekend because I got a mom that's in the nursing home and I need to be there 3-4 times a week. Or, I have a baby that needs this from me. Like we can't. So really, really think about creating a business model that leaves time. Now, it's about being intentional. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes we just start to do business and we don't think about what's the best container for our time.
Yeah.
We just start, I need to make money. I need to make money. I need to make money. I need to make more money. I need to make more money. I need to make more money. We don't think I need time for love. We don't think I need time to build my relationships. We just start thinking I need money. I need money. I need money. I need money. Mm-hmm. So we don't even stop to say, how can I make the most amount of money in the least amount of time? Because I also need time for love and relationships. So that's number one. I'm going to give you guys. Number one is really sit down and think, how can I get my business into a container that will allow for love and relationship? Okay. All right. Some of you guys, and I've done this. I got my business down in container for love and relationship. I remember specifically doing this. Like, well, I think I had just taken a class. I need to leave space for love. And so I got my work schedule down and everything. And I was sitting on the couch watching TV. And after about 2 weeks, I was like, I could be working and making money. Like this is, I don't look, hey, I want to be open to it. But I also, listen, I grew up in a household. Let me tell y'all, I grew up in a household where we were watching TV too long. My parents would say, they got their millions. I don't know why you sitting there watching them. You ain't got no money. Why you watching them people with money when you ain't got no money?
Yeah.
Right. So if I watch TV so too long, my mother's voice kicks in my head. Yes. They got their millions. I don't know why you sitting there watching them. You could be doing something productive. So it kicks in. So I can't just mindlessly, like I could do a good binge every now and then. Yeah. But for the most part, if it's just a Monday and I could be doing something, I hear my mama's voice. They got their millions. You got millions. You don't think you need to be sitting down watching somebody else when you can be getting your own. Okay. So that's the thing. So I hear it. So I actually went back to work. I went back to work. So I'm going to so my advice from my mistakes, and then every time I get in a relationship, I got to change my work schedule, is to have a collapsible schedule. Like if you feel like me, like it's hard for you just to sit there and hold the space open because you don't really know what to fill it with or anything. If it's hard for you to hold the space open, you might want to take a class in that space or something. So think about things that you could fill that space with until that love relationship comes down that you can easily transition out of. Or think about a container that you can expand and then retract. Or so, and that might be like hours. And then think about how long does it take to retract. So I knew, okay, I could change my hours at any point in time. I can change my hours for the most part. I got 2 days that I can't. And so that's what I decided to do. I'll do what I'm doing that I like to do now. And then when a love and relationship comes along, then I'll just change my hours. It'll be fine. Now, I will say, and therapists out there who are listening to me, and hairstylists too. I don't know if this affects you guys like it affects us, but usually when we make a change in our business, we lose 1 or 2 clients. It is what it is. So if we move locations, we lose some people. If we change hours, we lose some people. And you're going to feel it in your schedule a little while. So make sure you kind of probably budget for that. I'm expecting this person to come into my life. I'm doing the things I set aside, but if I have to make a schedule in my time, it might financially hurt for a minute. Okay, so that's going to be my number one thing. And since I feel like I've been talking nonstop for 16 minutes, I would give it over to Sharice to come up with the next. But the number one thing is intentionally create a business model that allows for love and relationships, that allows and intentionally think, how can I make the most money in the least amount of time? And add that to the equation, not just, I need more money, I need more money, I need more money. Because when we're not thinking clearly about that, then that translates to us running ourselves into the ground because we work harder. Because my base mentality is, if I need more money, I just need to work more. I need to work more. And so if I'm not thinking, hold on, we at the level where we got to work smarter, not harder. We got to work smarter, not harder. And for me, like I have to really sit down and like have a come to Jesus meeting with myself because I just want to run. I just want to start working. I just want to pick up another job, which I do all the time. Like, and so I'm so trying to work with myself on work smarter, not harder. Like it's a thing. Like it's a fundamental shift. Like I need to be like,
it's happening. It's happening.
Yeah. So, okay. All right, Sharice, what do you say? And now I'm gonna read everything that's in the chat. Okay.
So alignment. I think you have to, date in alignment, date as compatibly as you possibly can, right? At this age and wisdom and experience, I think that you do have the ability to date as compatibly and in alignment as you can. So that means you have to date someone who sees you, sees who you are, someone who's supportive, someone who is willing to adjust. And you have to be the same. Like, and then someone that has things in common with you.
Yeah.
And is has an interest in who you are and what you do as a
Yes.
whole. Right. And that's what makes a person buy into you.
Right.
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 Because at dating on this side, I think most of us are dating for a long-term partnership, marriage, whatever you want to call it, based off of our experiences. So if you just think about what has happened in the past that didn't work, what happened in the past that did work, I think a lot of us just did not have the wisdom or the experience to know how to date compatibly. If you want someone, if you are a kind of attached type person and you need someone with you on a regular basis, you need to date someone that feels the same. Okay. Date somebody that lives close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be too much stress if they live, out of town or just too far away in the city, or if their job isn't that compatible with your timing. Like those are things that you have to factor in, because that's how you spend your time. If you spend your time traveling to them a whole hour and you got to be at your job, in the morning, those are things that might not be compatibility unless someone is willing to move. You get that serious. But that's why on this side of life, you start having those conversations early on.
Yeah.
So, what are your deal breakers? Are you open to moving together, or one of us living with each other? These are the seriousness of the relationships in the very beginning, like the conversations that we're having now. Like early on, it's okay. Like, be serious.
Yeah.
Know what you want, alignment, to me, alignment is extremely important. Like, date compatibly.
Yeah.
That not date compatibly. It's possible.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I want to tackle feminine and masculine energy. Oh, okay. Also, please note, and this can go either way. So whether you're a male or a female, you still need to think about, do you want to date in the feminine or in the masculine? And which means in your relationship, what's going to work best. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about, because the majority of people I talk to are feminine, like feminine. And so let's talk about, but running a business, a lot of us run our business from the masculine. So if you want to date masculine, then you need to actively transition back into feminine as you go out into the dating world. Okay. You also may want to think about, do you really need masculine energy for your life? So if you want to be the main breadwinner, because you don't want anybody else to cap you. Oh my God, I was just in a conversation about this. Okay. All right, let me take a side trip. I was just in a conversation and we were talking about the things that may cap you financially that you may not be aware of.
Okay.
One of the things that could cap women financially is, I don't want to make too much more money than my man. I'm okay making a little more money than him. Like, I'm okay if he make 50,000, because that's respectable, and I make 100,000. I'm okay if he makes 75 and I make 150. I'm not okay if he make 100 and I'm making 500. So what would you do, and what would you have to do in your business so that you don't make too much more than him? So that's a nugget on the side. I'm just saying, that came from another conversation we had about different financial, why we would create different financial barriers or glass ceilings for ourselves and not realize it. Another one is, you might not want to make too much more than your friend. You okay making $50,000 more, $100,000 more? You wouldn't be okay making $500,000 or $1 million more than your friend. And so you may have to play small on that. Or just not grow as much because you don't want to leave your friend group. Some people, you actually don't want to make too much more than anybody in your family because they'll start talking about you. Oh, she thinks she's a ditty. Oh, he think he too good for us. They done got that new car. And now they don't know how to drive it to the old neighborhood. And so you will feel like you get penalized. So you may be keeping yourself small and not growing to your capacity. So that's a little chicken nugget on the side, as my old pastor used to say. Shout out Andre Butler. I'm using your words. All right. So that's a thing just to think about. Okay, now let me come back to the main.
That's some subconscious stuff, huh?
All the way subconscious. All the way subconscious. Okay, let me finish that. Okay, let me get back out there for y'all. All right, so I want everybody within the sound of my voice to sit down and let's start easy. Start at 50,000. Okay. And I want you to say, I comfortably make 50,000 a year, and see what comes up in your body. Just write down what are the thoughts. If you're like, oh yeah, that's easy. Oh yeah, that feels good. Good. Now keep taking it up by 50,000 until you get to a number that's no longer comfortable. And then you sit there and you do the work with that. So let's say, let me mess with you, Sharice. So let's say you sit down and you write, I am comfortable bringing $500,000 into my business and my life in 6 months. What comes up for you with that?
I am comfortable, very, very, very comfortable bringing in $500,000 in the next 6 months in my business and life. Yeah. I'm very comfortable.
Okay.
Very.
What comes up for me is taxes. I don't know how to pay taxes. I don't know what the taxes are. I want to be that. Like, oh my God, I'm going to be in tax trouble again.
Okay, got it. Okay.
All right. So everybody out there, sit down and do the work and figure out what that number is, and then what happens or what needs to happen, what needs to be put in place. So just based off of what I just figured out for myself. What you can do in-person work, like here, right now, is I need to sit down and get my taxes together. And I probably need to talk to my accountant about, let's keep a track on what I'm making quarter to quarter. So if I need to change my tax strategy, we can do it in the year so that I don't wind up at the end of the year owing too much in taxes and hurting and bleeding from that. Okay. All right. And so, and FYI, you guys, probably at about the 250 mark, check with your accountant that when you need to really start thinking about what tax bracket I'm in and about how everything is going to hit, and you really need to be knowledgeable with that. But it's something to go ahead and slowly start thinking about. Most accountants, just FYI, most general accountants are not tax experts and are going to help you do your taxes in a way that you're not paying 50% in taxes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Because as you make more money, your tax bracket increases. And so you need to start looking at tax shelters. You need to start looking at different places to put your money so it's not taxed, or all of the different things. And so be aware of that. But back to the main exercise is, I'm going to challenge everybody. I'm challenging you, everybody, to sit down and write those numbers so you aren't capping yourself and you don't know why.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, I don't understand why my business can't break 6 figures. Yeah. Let's sit down and write it and figure out why you can't, because it's going to be an internal thing and you're not going to really realize what it is. So, okay. All right. So back to masculine and feminine. So feminine. So that's one of the things. So if you want to operate as a feminine, but in your business, you operate masculine, then like I said before, you have to consciously transition back into the feminine energy to date if you want to date from masculine. But I also want you to think about that, because there's a couple of you guys who actually would be comfortable also dating in the masculine. And you can date, as a feminine, you can date in the masculine for a male, but just know that his energy may be more feminine. And it's not that feminine means he's gay or anything like that. It just means that he's probably more creative, more of an artist, more of a kind of go with the flow, more of a caretaker. And so like a male nurse would be a good example. Has a very like nurturing spirit about him.
Yeah.
Most male nurses are not just, I'm not here to make all the money at all costs. Like they're very
Yes.
people
Sure.
conscious. Most males in the medical profession, most, not all, in the medical profession are very caring. They want to be there. Coaches are very nurturing. Like they're there for the people.
Yeah.
Teachers, male teachers, they're there for the people. They're there for education. And so they can go in more to a caring role and be a little bit more of what I want to say beta male, but I'm not saying it derogatory. I'm saying it as a way of being in life. Like they
Yes.
don't have to come home and everything has to be their way. Right.
Yeah.
They're very much go with the flow. That's the way you want it, babe. You need to work. You need to do this, and very, very supportive. Okay. All right. I do want you to know though, you are probably not going to be able to be your most masculine self and have the most masculine male. It's just not going to work. And so really sit down and really figure out what you need and how does that work. And so if you want a hyper masculine male, you really need a business that can fold and be up under him. Usually the person who has the more masculine energy is the more dominant with how things run in the relationship, where we need to live, where we need to be, what direction we're going to take. They're really setting the tone. And so just be aware of that. There's no right or wrong. It's what works for you. There's no right or wrong. It's what works well for you. And so really sit down and think about what works well. What have you typically been attracted to? What has worked? Okay. Because I think most of us little girls, we grew up between Disney and some of us Disney and church, all thinking that we would be best in these relationships with these hyper masculine males. And now that we grown and we can command a certain income and do certain things, and we've been single a while, I don't think that's the best thing for us anymore. I don't. And growing up, we didn't have a model for that. And so it feels foreign to us or even wrong to us just because we didn't have a model. But this may be where we need to blaze a trail for ourselves. So this is very much what this can look like. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So that's my thing. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm loving this conversation. I put a little note in the chat for Q. We got to have a meeting about this, but I love this space because I feel like it's very concentrated, on, love, relationship, entrepreneurship, business together, all together.
Yeah.
About that femininity and that masculinity and how to merge it, and how to identify what works for you and what works. Like people need to know, like, what do you mean he's feminine? And you described it perfection. That was perfection, the way you laid that out. And I don't think a lot of people would understand that or have ever even heard it. I heard on a clip the other day about wanting the difference in a masculine man and an alpha man. You know who I'm talking about it?
Send it to me.
Oh, yeah. It was, it's our girl. I'll bring it back. It back.
Actually, I think I heard that or somebody talking about that. Yeah.
Girl, I feel so bad right now. I can't bring her name up. The secret.
Lisa Nichols?
Lisa Nichols. I'm sorry, I can't get it. Lisa Nichols. It's a clip. She was talking about her husband was describing to her the difference in an alpha man and a masculine man, right? Ooh. And the masculine man, really brings in that femininity. Like he knows how to be in touch with you. He's a keeper, not a hunter. Ooh, girl, she broke that thing down. Oh. So those are like, I love that space for us because we're like, it brings out your expertise, right?
Yeah.
And then it brings out my expertise because I work with women a lot on femininity. Like we are so much more feminine than we realize in our businesses, but it's like we got this masculine, overtone and undertone that takes over. No, lady, use your femininity and know when to use the masculine. right?
Yeah.
But we're feminine, and it's okay.
Mm.
And you have that for a reason.
Yeah.
But we have to truly understand. I think you've broken it down better than anyone I've heard, like just the difference in the masculine and the feminine in a man and a woman.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
I like using the terminology, and I'll use that from now on: alpha male versus just masculine male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She broke
Yeah.
that thing down. Yeah, I should find
Okay.
it.
I'm gonna go find that because I think somebody else was talking about it as well, and it's just like, oh yeah, that's more of what I've been trying to say. So, yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
What's another tip you would give somebody with love and relationships and entrepreneurship and business? What would you say?
Connection, like, and that moves over into business as well. Like, deal with people and situations that you are truly connected to. That you don't just be out here doing anything. Like,
Mm-hmm.
demand and have the standard of connection, because it's more
Mm-hmm.
important than anything. And a lot of times business is business. Business is business. Yeah, but the connection will answer everything for you. Like, is there a connection here? When in love, like, is there a connection? If there is a connection, there should be some compatibility. There should be someone who is willing
Mm-hmm.
to adjust. There should be someone
Mm-hmm.
who's willing to listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who's willing to teach and learn, all at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all of that matters. And I know, some of us have been in, some maybe toxic situations in the past and feel like maybe you don't deserve that, but
Mm.
you deserve happiness. You deserve a real, true connection, but you got to do that inner work
Yeah.
in order to attract what you really want. So if you're not doing that
Mm.
work, and you keep attracting something that's not good for you, and you're wondering, like, I keep attracting people, and I'm spending all my time over there and I'm not getting my work done. Number one, I think that's the biggest issue, as being young, just people, period, not just entrepreneurs, but keeping in mind, entrepreneurs, we create our own.
Yeah.
So your time is everything.
Yeah.
And your money and your self-esteem and your image, it's everything.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you're not showing up for yourself first and then the people, you're not making any money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to keep that business rolling. You
Mm-hmm.
got to keep. So that's why, to me, I feel like the compatibility is extremely important in making sure that the person is a person that is just connected to you.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that's connected to you, you can't turn it off.
Right.
And if it's a good, great connection, you just make each other better.
Yeah.
So for me, it's connection.
Yeah. All right. I want to do connection, but making sure that you make time for connection.
Mm-hmm.
A relationship is not going to go by itself. Like, you have to connect. Mm-hmm. And so I just had a wonderful conversation with an entrepreneur. And last month we were saying, I was, kind of advising them, like, you got to make time for connection. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it don't take all of that. Like, it can be 5 minutes a day, but it has to be connection. And so he reported back that they did implement like a 5-minute coffee chat in the morning, just where they're connecting. And the arguments have decreased by like 75%. They're not arguing anymore. And it's making time for that connection. And so as an entrepreneur, most of us have some freedom and flexibility over our schedules. And so making sure we prioritize building and growing the relationship. They're not going to build and grow on their own. And so but you can put it in. So do you need to, so there's so many things you can do, do one day a week. Do you need to schedule lunch with your partner? Is it every day? So I had, on my Maritalpreneurs podcast, which, hey, I finally got enough episodes where I feel like I can like drop them. So we'll be working on that over the next week. But one of the couple was saying that they make sure they have lunch together every day. Like, it is. And so the morning can start crazy, the evening can go crazy, but every day at lunch, they make sure they have lunch together. And so if you want your love and your relationships to thrive with your business, there has to be time for it in the schedule. So what can you commit to? I'm going to say I'd rather small bites get you there. And so if it's 5 minutes, we have coffee together every morning. Is it a 10-minute breakout session every day at 10? Like, what can you do to create that connection? And if it's a romantic relationship, I'm going to say skin to skin contact is important. And so do we just need to be able to, one of my other clinicians in her family, she has small kids, but she was just saying that in her family, she's created this culture when anybody at any time can come up to another family member and say, I need a 20-second hug. So I think 20 seconds is when the oxytocin kicks in. She was telling me the science behind it. I was like, wow. But at any point in time, a family member can come up and say, hey, I need a 20-second hug. And so that might be it, making sure you do that daily. I want you to do it multiple times a day if it's only 20 seconds, but something like that. I was talking to another client and their partner had a water goal, just how much to drink. And so they decided to drink water together. And like it doesn't take long to drink a bottle of water, right? But hey, let's drink this. And it's a connecting thing that we can do throughout the day and just kind of be together. And so please, 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 if you want to have love and a business and love, you've got to carve out the time. Sometimes it's going to feel like you have to steal the time away from your business to do it. So I got to launch into the next thing. Can I? Y'all gonna give me permission? Okay.
Please.
I need y'all to understand, and I get it because it's painful for me to understand it myself. Okay. I don't like this fact, but if you take it as a fact, you're going to be better for it. But I don't like it. Okay. If you don't have the life that you want, it's because you created that life that you don't want. So on some level, you do want it. All right. So look at your life and take your life on face value that I have created this, whether it's success or whether it's a mess. And most of us, we got success in one area and a mess in another area. So it's really simultaneous. Okay. I have created, what about me? What about my internal dialogue had me create this? How did I create this? How did I create a business that requires me to work 20 hours to make the ends meet? How did I create a business that has no boundaries? How? And so I get it. It doesn't feel good to look and say, okay, I created this monster in some type of way. What is going on with me that I created this? So, and it could be as simple as I believe in working harder, not smarter. That never occurred to me. It could be I only feel validated if I'm dog tired at the end of the day. It could be I only feel successful if I'm dog tired and burn out at the end of the day. It could be I'm avoiding something else in my life. And so I'm going to make my business world take all of my time and attention. I don't want to deal with whatever. And so I'm going to make my business world as chaotic as possible and deal. And so I always have to be putting out fires in my business so I don't have to worry about the raging fire in my personal life. It could be. All right. And so it could be a lot of different reasons. So many different reasons that I can't even name them all or even think about them all. But I need all of you guys to say, I have created my life. Good, bad, ugly. I've created it. What does that tell me about what I'm thinking? Okay. All right. I have talked to minimum that I can think and name and call on my cell phone. Practical people. I have talked to a couple of people who their businesses are running without them and they're making over $500,000 a year. And they're on a golf course somewhere. They're on a beach somewhere. They're doing it.
Goals.
Okay. In your business, just broke 100K, and you working like a dog.
Yes.
Right. And so you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to say, I have created this life, and y'all get it, because I don't like my life sometimes. And when I have to say, okay, I created this, what was I thinking that had me create this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's the internal thing that had me create this? But as soon as you can take ownership over it, then you can figure out what it was and create and change it, and then you create something different. You can create something different, but you got to have a conversation with yourself, as hard as it is. And I get sometimes it hurts, because you don't want to be like, what do you mean? Let's look at a relationship. What do you mean I created an abusive relationship for myself? I would never want to do that.
Right.
But you did.
You did. Yeah.
You did. You did.
A busy business.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that comes from validation, just looking for validation. It reminds me of, just always helping other people and putting yourself last and not realizing, like, subconsciously you just need validation. You want other people, you may not see it or feel it or realize it, but it's like, oh, I just want other people to know that I'm here for them. I got them, whatever they need, I'm here, because, I don't need anything. I'm good. I'll just take care of everybody else.
Yeah.
It's that internal subconscious validation that you need,
I was having the best conversation with somebody the other day, and they were saying, they were saying, because, y'all, sometimes your personal life mirrors your business life, and your business life mirrors your personal life, because it's you take you wherever you go.
Yes.
So she was saying that she realized in this romantic relationship that she had broken some of her own internal boundaries, and it didn't work well for her. And I was saying that happens to us in business. And I was like, in therapy, let's say my hours are 9 to 5, but I get this new client and they say, oh, can you please come in at 7 a.m. and do my session, because I just got to have you, and that's the only time that it works. I have learned that client never shows. And I don't think it has anything to do with them. I think it's me. I broke my own boundary.
Broke your own rules.
So in business and therapy specifically, I've learned I don't change my hours for anybody. No, let me not say that. I don't change my hours for new people. Like, if I got an established client that has always shown up every time, and they're like, hey, I'm going out of town or something, I really need you to do it early, I'll do that for them. But this whole new just changing the boundary because I'm feeling pressured, because I'm feeling needy, because I'm feeling the need to please, it doesn't work out. And so my friend was saying essentially that's what just happened to her personally. Is she moved, she changed her boundaries, and it didn't work out. And I was like, that's so funny. And so now she has to learn how to do that personally. And I was like, I think a lot of us have to learn how to do that personally and in the business. Holding the boundaries for us so that we operate the best. We operate at our best when we identify what our comfort zone is, what good boundaries are for us. Then we can show up as our best self in our business and in our personal life. And so that's such an important lesson to learn how to hold those things and not be all over the place. So it was such a good conversation. Okay.
Yeah, that is a really good one. Funny thing, so guess what my word was? Can you imagine?
Boundaries.
No, transparency.
Ooh, okay.
So boundaries goes under transparency to me, but everything you were saying to me was about transparency. Like, you have to show up and you have to be open and honest, about who you are, where you are, what you've been through, why you are where you are, because I think we also attract our answers to life through people. We attract our healing through life through people, so be open to that as well. A lot of times you meet somebody and y'all, no, you needed to meet them so that you could meet your issues, so that you could figure out how to
Ooh.
navigate through this situation. So this might just be, if you're healthy, if you are healing in a healthy way, this just might be, this is why right here, baby, this is where we niching at right here. We got something right here,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
this could possibly be the person that you very well could be healing through life with, or
Oh, say that.
could be for a time. It might not be forever. It might be for a time, but that's why you have to be doing healthy healing, right? So whatever you attract, you can take a look in the mirror, like you said, ownership.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why did I attract this person?
Yes. Yes.
Why are we having these issues?
Yes.
Why? Okay, if they are healing healthy as well, these are things that you can talk about, right? And you can say, well, this is what I've been dealing with in life. I have abandonment issues.
Mm.
I have these issues. And if they're aware, awareness is important. That's why you got to date compatibly. Someone that's transparent and willing to talk through with you. Okay, so maybe I identified that in you. I've had that issue too in this way, right? So it looks like, we're clashing because we're both seeing that abandonment issue in each other.
Yes. Yes.
So instead
Yes.
of us going at each other, let's sit and see if we can heal together. Even, there we go back to my motto, open to everything and attached to nothing. You might
Oh.
not be
Oh.
forever, but
Yeah.
you might
Yeah.
be here to heal with me for a while, right?
Say that.
So
Say
let's be
that.
good to each other and let's heal together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead
Mm-hmm.
of, you just this and that and other, looking at a person, as more evil instead of someone that has had some issues. They need some
Yeah.
healing and might have showed up to heal with you. Like, girl.
Yeah. That's so good. That's so
Mm,
good. Oh, that's so good. Ah, I'm so
mm.
excited. I'm so excited. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, our time is up. Or was it time to wind it
Oh,
down?
wow. It's
All
9:50.
right.
Okay. That was fast.
Okay.
Let's
Okay,
see
but
how
let me
good
say
it
this real
was.
quick. I haven't heard, and maybe I haven't been on social media a lot lately because I've been doing a lot of different things, but I haven't heard somebody use the terminology healing healthy. Did you get that from somebody else? That just came out your mouth.
It just came out my mouth.
I think that might
I
be your
think it's
next
a
book.
real thing.
It is a real thing, but I think that's your next book.
Okay.
Healing healthy,
You
because we don't
know
talk
that.
enough about how you can heal and you can actually heal unhealthy.
Yeah,
You
yes,
can
yes,
you
for
can
sure.
you can you can heal in an unhealthy way,
Yeah.
which it sounds oxymoronic, right? Because if it's healing, it's healing.
Mm-hmm.
You can, but we haven't had time to talk about this. Let me say this real quick. Just like you can break a bone and it starts to heal in a bad way, and they have to go in and re-break it so to heal properly,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
need to look at your life and look at the energy in your life and
Mm-hmm.
seeing if you healed healthy or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very
Mm-hmm.
specifically, I actually remember healing one time from a piece of glass that got stuck in my foot. Months later, it was still hurting. And
Mm-hmm.
so it finally came to me as you didn't get all the glass out.
Then get
It's
it out.
got to be.
Right.
You
Oh, it's
did
still
not.
in there.
It's still in there.
Did you
You
have to,
got
how did you do that? Did you have to go back in there?
yes. So we had to re-break the skin.
Oh,
Okay. So
Lord.
first of all, my dad was a medic in the military. My mom is a nurse. So I'm
Okay.
not just out here like just
Yeah,
cutting
yeah,
open with
yeah,
no information and knowledge at all. But
yeah.
I was right. I went back in and it was still a piece of glass
Because
left.
that glass inside,
Yes, it's so
that
because
will never be
it
right.
it's colored in blood and you just can't see. It's glass, it's clear glass. But after and it kept hurting. And so this is a word for somebody out here listening to us.
Mm.
If you are sure you healed from it, but it is still hurting, it's something you didn't get. Okay. And it's gonna show up in pain points in your personal life and in your business. It's going to be a little pain point. And so when you realize, man, why am I taking this so personally? Why did it hurt when that happened in business or when my
Mm.
numbers weren't what I thought they was? It hurt a little bit more than it should have. It shouldn't still be hurting like this. Something you didn't get in your healing. So as soon as Sharice releases this book, Healing Healthy, you need to pre-order it on Amazon whenever. And I'm just speaking into existence that this is her next book because the words came out her mouth and it hit something inside of me that you not only need to heal, you need to heal healthy and you need to heal complete. You need to heal healthy and you need to heal complete. You can go into the hospital for one issue and wind up with another issue because whatever reason, that particular hospital at that particular time wasn't the best environment for you to heal in. And so timing and healing and space and place for healing.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a whole thing. Let me bring it back down.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm just going to stop talking. Okay, Sharice, what's your final thoughts for today on how to navigate relationships while building your empire?
I would say get in alignment, make the right connections, be transparent, and heal as healthy as possible.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. All right. I'm going to say be intentional. Be intentional. And so if you have, I'm looking at my 2 plants. Both of them need water because I want both of them to grow. Both of them need to be nurtured. Both of them need light because I want both of them to grow. I'm going to place them in specific places in my house because I want both of them to grow. So if you want your love life to grow and your business life to grow, both of them need water. Both of them need the right light. Both of them need the right attention because I want both of them to grow. And so be intentional with making sure each thing gets what it needs to grow. And with that, people, I am Natalie E. This is Sharice B. Today, we came together to help you get it together in love and business. We will not see you guys next week because it is the day after Memorial Day here. It's the American holiday, Memorial Day. And so we're going to be sleeping in next week. We're sleeping in next week. But we wish you guys an amazing Memorial Day weekend. Memorial weekend is about memories and remembering. And so if you guys would, somewhere over the weekend, just get quiet and remember all the people who've come before you to help create life that you have now. So ancestors, all of them. All right. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Love y'all.
Have a good one. See you next time.
You too.
Audio Jungle.